My name is Govind. Hello. So, if I want to ask you that if I am drinking milk, cow's milk, and if it is sourcing is not for the cruelty of what we spoke, so what are your views on that?
Okay, I have two views on that. Firstly is many times I've had many people tell me that, bro, I agree with everything you said, but you should just come to my village. In my village, in my hometown, that does not happen. Or you come to even my house in my village, also my grandparents, they have been having here 8 cows since I was a baby. They are not beaten, not mistreated, not force impregnated, nothing, no torture. Why? What is wrong in that? Firstly, what I have to say is that we human beings tend to look from a very narrow perspective of what is cruelty. We should always, I think it's fair to ask the question, how would I feel if I was in the animal's position? If me or my loved one was there and the same action was to happen to me, would I think it is cruelty or not? That's a fair way to look at life, right? Now, what people don't understand here is that I have also been to these villages. Even I come from a village in South India. What happens is they don't call the veterinary doctor to now tie up the cow and shove his hand and do all this stuff. That doesn't happen. But in that village, there will be few people who are known for raising only a bull. Agreed? Few people raise only the cow. Now, when it's time, like I told you, that female has to become pregnant to give milk. Without pregnancy, we cannot have milk. Okay, they will not do artificial insemination. But there's a place where they'll take that female cow, these caretakers of the cows, and they'll have this one fence here, and they'll push and pull that cow and bring her here, and they'll make her put her head there. Her backside is exposed. The man who owns the bull, if you pay him money, he will bring his bull who is in tremendous amount of sexual heat. And that bull will mount the cow. Have you seen this? You tell me? You have not seen this in that. Even in your villages. I'm telling you, this is the thing. People don't know about this. Now, of course, this is not artificial insemination. But we are once again forcing a female to get pregnant against her will. That cow is not willing in this. See, if that cow and buffalo or bull, whatever, they decide to go off and do whatever they want, that's none of my business. But why are we humans getting involved is my whole problem. Number one, this is what happens, I'll assure you, in 99.9% of any village I've seen. Be it North India, South India, anywhere you go. This kind of forced impregnation still exists. And even there, what happens is many people, they are afraid in our country to kill the cow. They don't want to kill the cow, especially they don't want to kill the male calf. They'll just take him and dump him on the street. You know, India is the only country in the world, I'm telling you, where you'll see stray cattle. Stray cattle do not exist in any other country on earth for a simple reason that people there will kill and eat them. People here, many of them don't want to kill them, which is good. Don't want to eat them, great. But still want to bring more into existence for drinking tea and coffee. Agreed. So we keep taking male calves and dumping them on the streets. In Uttar Pradesh right now, there have been situations where streets are just filled with calves and bulls, male cows, because it's illegal to kill them there. So again, where will these bulls go? What will they eat? I have seen so many situations where these bulls get into accidents, they get infections, injuries, diseases, have no food. They're eating plastic. They're literally sitting on the roadside. Have you seen these cows and buffaloes eating from the dustbin? My question now is, what kind of a life is this? Why did this animal even come into earth? To eat from a dustbin? So again, these villagers don't kill them. I will agree with you. But they just dump them. Or they even go to the extent of, they'll say, we give them to a Gaushala. I have been to these Gaushalas. If you go there, those people are begging for money. They're like, sir, we have here people just keep bringing in more cattle. And what's happening is that we are taking as much as we can, because if we leave them outside, some people will come and slaughter them. They'll kill them. But we have no way of giving them food also. No one is giving us money. Have you guys at least been to these Gaushalas and seen these cows starving? They will be literal skeletons. So many Gaushalas where the cows are dying because they just don't have the money. Because cows eat a lot and they drink a lot of water. So, with this being the current scenario, why support any kind of situation or any kind of, I don't want to say industry, practice, any kind of practice that involves bringing in more animals to the world? See, in the current scenario in which we live, we might say that, am I right to say you are someone who believes cows is sacred, we should not, okay, fine.
Yes.
We have people who believe this, fine. But then I ask them the question, it's not just about not killing. We should also make sure that the one that is alive has a good life, right? Because if I am supposed not going to die tomorrow, but I'm going to suffer with some disease for the next 10 years, I'll say kill me today itself. Why suffer? Suffering is worse than death, right? It's far worse than death. These cows right now, they are not being killed in our country, many of them, except for South India, certain parts I know. But their life is not worth living. Not one of us in this room want to be in their shoes. Horrible life. So we should not support any industry or practice that brings in more animals already when we have so many animals aimlessly roaming, not able to get food or anything. So that's my number one. You get my point, right?
Yeah.
So I agree. Maybe in your where you come from or what you're talking about, there is no artificial insemination. I'll agree with you, my friend. But go back to your village or wherever you're talking about and sit with them and ask who is in your village doing this. Your grandparents or who is it like?
No, it was just a perspective. Just
a perspective. Okay. If you have faith in any kind of farm or group of people, I'll say just go and say to them, I want to be with you for the next whatever time when this cow will be made pregnant. First of all, why are we humans again making them pregnant? Do we own their body? Do we get to decide when she should give birth, not give birth? Because understand that when a female human being becomes pregnant, it's a decision made between herself and her spouse. And if she is lucky, she'll have a good, loving family to take care of her in that situation. It is not for business. No one is getting pregnant for business. I hope at least humans are not. So if that's the case, here we are now saying this is a sacred animal. We should not kill her. But we are treating her body as if it's some kind of birth machine and we have the right to make her pregnant and do whatever we want to her body. That's wrong. I am saying the very idea of milking an animal itself is wrong. It's not about how we milk or what we do to her. We should not bother animals in any way. If we can feed them, good feed. You want to pet them, good pet them. After that, just leave them. I also don't support these people who will tie up. I've seen here in Mumbai and Pune, especially in Mumbai I've seen this. As a South Indian, this does not exist where I come from. They have these cows, they tie them up near this lamppost with a short rope. One lady sitting there, you can pay her money. She'll give you something, you can feed the cow. And that cow does not want to be tied there. Like, have you seen them tied to the short rope? That is also exploitation. She is just making money with the cow. That is wrong. You cannot do that. If you really love them and cherish them, treat them with love, feed them and just leave them be. That's the right way. And when we consume dairy products, we are doing, the word I think you are against is called Gau Hatya. Right. I'm telling you, my friend, at this point in time, in this world we're living in right now, you will call it as the Kali Yuga, right? In this Yuga, if you are in any way supporting the dairy industry, it is Gau Hatya. One thing I will request you to do is have an open mind. Go and watch a documentary on YouTube called Maa Ka Doodh. It's called Maa Ka Doodh, which goes into detail and explains every bit and piece of the Indian dairy industry. Because for some reason in our country, we are all just blindly thinking on the dairy industry and abroad it's cruel. I am saying we are worse than foreign. We just don't realize it. So please open your eyes, go and do more research about veganism. Every single time we consume dairy, we are supporting exploitation of cows, and that is 100% wrong. That's my answer.
Okay, so suppose all of us or majority of us stop consuming any dairy products or for example milk. So it is really helping cows get better life. What do you say?
Okay, so like I spoke to him.
Like Gaushalas will be then of no funding because no trade activity, no, out of cow. Milk is a good business for them.
I am saying Gaushala. That's a very bad business.
No, for Gaushala, we will pay money. We will invest. No, like people come to Gaushala. Why they? Because kind of trade activity is there. So if everyone stops drinking milk, so how is improving the life of cow?
Okay. First thing, when you say everyone will come and pay and use the word trade activity, help me understand. Are you talking about now the Gaushala selling milk or just
Gaushala selling milk? Of course,
selling
cows
milk.
are there. So they sell.
Okay,
milk.
So that's what I'm saying is completely wrong. We should not be selling that. We should not be using this animal for making money. Okay. I'm saying using the animal for money. That's why I told even the lady who's tying the cow to the lamppost and doing, even that is wrong. I'm saying for money, we should not be using animals because just like children, human children, they cannot give consent. Animals cannot give consent.
Yes.
We should not be exploited. Human children and animal are very similar in mind. So we should not be exploiting anyone that is mentally inferior to us. That's the whole point. Now, as you mentioned, let's say how does becoming a vegan benefit cows? Let us say right now that we all become vegan or a lot of people become vegan, stop consuming dairy products. At that point, the cow which is already born right now and existing in this system, she is unfortunately going to suffer and die. Unless we right now go on the streets, rescue these cows, open our own Gaushala and keep her, she is 100% going to have the most horrifying death in this world. We cannot save animals who have been born into the system, but by becoming vegan, we make a difference because like I told before, when we stop consuming, the market demand for dairy reduces. When the demand reduces, people will stop breeding animals into existence. Again, why is the dairy farmer even breeding the cow? Because he wants milk. If no one is drinking milk, he's not going to breed the cow. If he's not breeding cows, that means less number of cows in the world, which means this Gaushala will finally have money to actually take care of the cows, because no new person is going to come and dump a new calf there. You get it?
Yeah,
People are going and misusing the Gaushala by dumping these kind of, they won't even ring the bell. They'll just leave it outside and go. I'm close friends with many sanctuary owners. They tell me that people don't even have the courtesy to ring the bell and say, can you take care of this animal? They literally put the animal in the front door at night and no one is there, and they'll walk away. When you open the next day morning, animal is there. What do? It's like going to an orphanage and keeping a child at night when no one is there. Same thing they do. So that means in a world with less number of cows, we can finally start taking care of the ones who have been rescued. We'll finally able to find enough money to take care and feed them. But eventually, like I told before, in a vegan world, these cows and almost every other domestic animal will literally become almost extinct. There will be hardly any of them because they are only bred for being used. So therefore, they'll become extinct. That's my whole point.
I got. Thank you.
Thank you so much.